While 73% of American workers say they'd leave the US for better pay and work-life balance, most have no idea these 5 countries are literally paying foreigners more than locals to move there right now. And number 1 on this list? It's not where you think, and they're desperate for workers. But before we dive in, if you're new here, hit the subscribe button and leave a comment. I subscribe. And I'll personally welcome you into the family. With that said, let's get started. Country number 5. Portugal. Let's start at number 5, Portugal. Portugal is so desperate for skilled workers, they'll let you pay 0 income tax for 10 years. Yes, 0. Meet Marcus, 34-year-old software developer from Austin, Texas. He was grinding 50-hour weeks, paying $1,800 a month for a studio apartment that had a kitchen the size of a closet. Add $400 a month in student loan payments, and he was basically running in place financially. Then he discovered Portugal's tech visa program. 6 months later, Marcus is living in a 2-bedroom apartment in Lisbon for $650 a month. Full balcony, view of the Tagus River, 10-minute walk to co-working spaces filled with other expats. Within those first 6 months, he'd saved more money than his entire previous year in America. A 2024 OECD study shows Portugal's cost of living is 47% lower than the US, while average salaries for tech workers are only 15 to 20% lower. Do the math. You're actually coming out ahead. Here's the crazy part. Lisbon has faster internet than most of California. Gigabit fiber for $30 a month. Work-life balance? 35-hour work weeks. Mandatory 22 vacation days. Healthcare costs Marcus about $200 a month through the national system, and that covers everything. Doctor visits, specialists, prescriptions. But there's a catch. The language barrier traps about 40% of expats in year 2. You can get by with English in Lisbon at first, but career advancement? Building real friendships? You need Portuguese. Marcus used 3 apps, Duolingo, Babel, and italki for conversation practice. 20 minutes daily. He was fluent enough to thrive in 8 months. Portugal also has the Golden Visa program. Invest 250,000 euros in a property or fund, and you get residency. After 5 years, you can apply for citizenship. That's an EU passport giving you access to 27 countries. The food scene? A full meal with wine costs $12 to $15. Fresh seafood daily. Pastéis de nata for breakfast. The beaches in the Algarve rival anything in California. But Portugal's number 5 for a reason. Salaries are lower. If you're not remote or in tech, you're looking at 1,200 to 1,800 euros monthly for average jobs. The bureaucracy is slow. Getting your residence card can take 6 to 8 months. Still, for remote workers or retirees, Portugal's a dream. But as good as Portugal is, number 4 takes things to another level. Country number 4. Number 4, the United Arab Emirates. Here's the deal, your salary is 100% yours. No income tax, no social security, nothing taken out. Meet Sarah, 29-year-old registered nurse from Cleveland, Ohio. She was making $68,000 a year, but after federal taxes, state taxes, social security, Medicare, she was taking home $48,000. She was drowning in $120,000 of medical school debt. The minimum payments were eating her alive. Then a recruiter reached out. A hospital in Dubai. The offer? $95,000 US. Tax-free. She paid off her entire $120,000 debt in 3 years. Something that would have taken her 15 years in Cleveland. The IMF's 2024 report shows the UAE has the world's 3rd highest disposable income rate for expats. When you're not losing 30 to 40% of your paycheck to taxes, compound interest works for you. Imagine opening your banking app and seeing 100% of your paycheck. Not 70%. Not 65%. Of it. No tax forms. No IRS stress. Now, I know what you're thinking. What about women's rights? What about social restrictions? Here's the reality Sarah found. Dubai's expat zones operate under international standards. She runs a women's fitness group with 0 restrictions. She dresses how she wants. She goes where she wants. 83% of the UAE's population are expats. They've built their entire economy around foreign workers. They need you to feel comfortable. Dubai's also insanely modern. The metro is cleaner than any American subway. You can get anywhere in 20 minutes. There's zero crime. You can walk alone at 2 a.m. as a woman with zero fear. The job market is booming. Finance, healthcare, education, hospitality, tech, construction. If you have skills, someone's hiring. Salaries range from $50,000 to $200,000 plus depending on your field. But the UAE stays at number 4 for real reasons. The summer heat is legitimately dangerous. 120 degrees Fahrenheit days where you can't be outside. And while Dubai's cosmopolitan, you are living in a monarchy with limited political freedoms. Alcohol is available but regulated. You need a license to buy it for home consumption. Public displays of affection can get you in trouble. And it's expensive. Rent in Dubai for a decent one-bedroom runs $1,800 to $2,500 monthly. International school for kids? $15,000 to $25,000 per year. But if you're young, ambitious, and want to save aggressively, the UAE is unmatched. Sarah saved $180,000 in 4 years. Try doing that anywhere in America. Now, number 3 is where things get interesting. Country number 3, Germany. Germany will literally pay you to learn a trade, give you a job, then let you retire at 63 with full benefits. It's called their Skilled Worker Immigration Act. This is James's story. 41 years old. Former warehouse manager from Michigan. 18 years with the same company, then laid off. No retirement savings. He applied to hundreds of US jobs. Companies wanted bachelor's degrees for $42,000 a year positions. At 41, he was too old and overqualified. Then he found Germany's vocational program. They paid him 1,200 euros per month while he was learning. He trained in mechatronics. At 43 years old, James was earning 65,000 euros per year. That's about 70,000 US dollars. With 30 vacation days. And healthcare that cost him 80 euros per month. His son wanted to study engineering. In the US, that's $40,000 to $60,000 per year. In Germany? Free. Completely free. Even for permanent residents. Then his wife got diagnosed with cancer. Her treatment, surgery, chemotherapy, radiation, medications, cost them a 10 euros copay per prescription. The German healthcare system has an annual out-of-pocket maximum. For his family, it was 500 euros for the entire year. A heart surgery in America runs $75,000 to $150,000. In Germany, 500 euro maximum out-of-pocket for your whole year of healthcare. The German Federal Employment Agency's 2024 report shows they have a shortage of 400,000 skilled workers. They're fast-tracking visas in 89 different professions. Electricians, nurses, IT specialists, teachers, engineers, craftsmen. Germany also has the Blue Card program for highly skilled workers. If you have a bachelor's degree and a job offer paying at least 43,800 euros, you qualify. After 33 months, you can apply for permanent residency. After 6 to 8 years, citizenship. The work culture is refreshingly balanced. Meetings end on time. Emails after 6 p.m. are rare. Your vacation is sacred. Sick leave is unlimited, and your employer pays your full salary for the first 6 weeks. But here's what nobody tells you. The bureaucracy is soul-crushing. You need 14 different documents just to open a bank account. Registration, deregistration, re-registration if you move apartments. Unless you use the expat shortcuts. Banks like N26 or Deutsche Bank's expat services. Specific agencies that handle the paperwork for you. Why isn't Germany number 1? Weather and language. It's cold and gray 8 months of the year. And German is genuinely difficult. Those compound words, the 4 cases, 3 genders for nouns. Job opportunities outside major cities are limited if you don't speak German. Berlin, Munich, Frankfurt, Hamburg? You're fine with English. Smaller towns? You'll struggle. Also, salaries are lower than the US for high earners. A software engineer making $180,000 in San Francisco might make 75,000 to 85,000 euros in Germany. But remember, no healthcare costs, no student loans, cheaper rent. Germany's incredible for stability, family life, and long-term security. But it's not for everyone. Which brings us to number 2. Country number 2, Canada. Canada is so desperate for workers, they've created a points system, where if you're under 35 with any bachelor's degree and work experience, you're basically guaranteed entry. No job offer needed. Twin sisters, Maya and Zoe, both 27, from Louisiana. Maya was a teacher making $38,000 a year in Baton Rouge, buying supplies with her own money, living with roommates. Zoe was a graphic designer making $45,000 with no health insurance because she couldn't afford the $400 per month premium. They both applied to Canada's express entry system. Within 11 months, both had permanent residency. Not a work visa. Not a temporary permit. Permanent residency with a direct path to citizenship. Maya now makes 72,000 Canadian dollars teaching in Toronto. That's about 53,000 US dollars, but remember, no health insurance costs. No copays. Free ambulances. Zoe works remotely for a Canadian design agency. Her chronic asthma medication that cost $340 per month in the US? $0 in Canada. Covered completely. Statistics Canada's 2024 report shows immigrants earn within 90% of Canadian-born workers' salaries by year 3. In the US, that gap is 73% even after 10 years. If you're in your 20s or 30s, Canada is rolling out the red carpet right now. Their birth rate dropped to 1.33 children per woman. They need 500,000 new permanent residents per year just to maintain their economy. Free healthcare. Free ambulances. $10 per day subsidized childcare in most provinces. Most Canadian provinces have higher average salaries than US states once you account for healthcare costs. An $85,000 salary in Canada with free healthcare is worth more than a $95,000 salary in the US where you're paying $600 per month in premiums plus deductibles. But isn't Canada cold? Vancouver's warmer than Seattle. Toronto's winter is like Chicago, but with healthcare and without medical bankruptcy. Canada also has provincial nominee programs. If you're willing to live in smaller provinces like Manitoba, Saskatchewan, or Atlantic Canada, the process is even faster and easier. These regions are beautiful, affordable, and actively recruiting. The tech scene is booming. Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal, Calgary. Shopify, Lululemon, and hundreds of startups. Salaries for software engineers range from $90,000 to $140,000 C. With free healthcare, that stretches far. So why isn't Canada number 1? Housing costs. Toronto and Vancouver rival New York and San Francisco. A one-bedroom apartment in Toronto can run $2,400 to $2,800 CAD per month. Vancouver's even worse. But secondary cities like Calgary, Ottawa, Halifax, or Winnipeg have housing costs 30 to 40% cheaper with the same salaries and same benefits. Calgary's booming with energy jobs. Ottawa's the capital with stable government work. Halifax has ocean views and $1,400 rent for 2 bedrooms. The other issue? Taxes. Canada's income tax rates are higher than most US states. You're looking at 20 to 33% federal tax, plus provincial taxes. Combined, high earners can pay 45 to 50%. But again, you're getting healthcare, education, and social services. Canada's perfect for families, for people who value safety and stability, and for anyone tired of American healthcare chaos. But it's still number 2, because country number 1 is doing something no other country is doing. Country number 1, Australia. Australia has a skills shortage list with 286 jobs on it. If you have one of these jobs, they'll fly you there, help you find housing, and in some cases, give you a $15,000 relocation bonus. This is David's story. 38-year-old electrician from Tampa, Florida. Making $52,000 a year. Working 55-hour weeks. He discovered he was on Australia's critical skills list. Electricians, plumbers, welders, nurses, teachers, dozens of trades they desperately need. A company in Brisbane reached out. They paid for his flight, paid his first month's rent, gave him a $10,000 signing bonus just for showing up. Now David makes $95,000 AUD. That's about 63,000 US dollars. But he works 38-hour weeks. Overtime is double time, and it's optional. Australia's minimum wage is $23.23 per hour. In America, it's $7.25. His wife works part-time at a cafe. She makes $35 per hour for coffee service. The Australian Bureau of Statistics 2024 report shows wage growth for skilled workers up 6.8% while the US only saw 3.1%. Australia has no tipping culture. That $35 per hour? That's what she actually takes home. No hoping customers tip. 4 weeks mandatory paid vacation. 18 weeks paid parental leave for both parents. Medicare covers most healthcare. Specialist visits cost $40 to $80 out of pocket. Employers must contribute 11% of your salary into your retirement fund, separate from your wages. You work less. You earn more. Your kids go to excellent public schools. You retire with actual savings. And you live in a country with pristine beaches, modern cities, and political stability. David sends photos to his family. Kangaroos on the golf course. Year-round beach weather. His daughter's public school has an Olympic-sized swimming pool. But isn't Australia ridiculously expensive? Yes, groceries are 15 to 20% higher. A gallon of milk costs more. Going out to eat costs more. But no health insurance premiums. That's $400 to $800 per month saved immediately. No copays. No deductibles. No tipping culture saves you 15 to 20% on every meal out. Most skilled workers have more disposable income in Australia than they did in the US. The lifestyle is incredible. Weekend beach trips. Hiking in rainforests. The Great Barrier Reef. Cities like Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane are modern, clean, and safe. Australian work culture values balance. Work to live, don't live to work, is the national motto. Leaving work at 5 p.m. sharp is normal, not frowned upon. The visa pathway is straightforward. Skilled Independent Visa, Subclass 189, if you score enough points. Employer-Sponsored Visa, Subclass 482, if you have a job offer. After 3 to 4 years, you can apply for permanent residency. After 4 years, citizenship. And here's the secret. Facebook groups where Australian companies actively recruit Americans. Yanks Down Under has 47,000 members sharing job leads, visa tips, relocation strategies. The only real downside? You're far from family. David flies home once a year. Costs about $1,200 round trip. But he saves $9,600 per year on healthcare alone compared to Florida. And spiders. Yes, there are spiders. And snakes. But honestly, you see them way less than the internet makes you think. David's seen 2 spiders in 3 years. City living is perfectly normal. Australia's expensive in some ways, but the quality of life is unmatched. Higher wages, lower stress, better health outcomes, and a government that actually functions. So here's my question. If you could keep 100% of your paycheck, work 35-hour weeks, and never see another medical bill, but you had to leave America, would you do it? 12 of my subscribers did this last year. 3 are in Portugal. 1's in Dubai. 8 are in Australia. And all of them say they wish they'd done it 5 years earlier. Drop a comment. Are these countries actually better, or is America still the best place to build a career? The data says one thing, but I want to hear from you. The world's bigger than we think. And maybe, just maybe, the American dream moved addresses.